What up, my homies? I'm John Zidar, aka the Stock Wizard. This is On Top and Hot, where we like to focus in on hot penny stocks. You see, I'm a day trader, and I primarily trade options and stocks under $5. And I'm always looking for a hot penny stock to share with you so we can all make some money. Well, I got into a hot penny stock a couple weeks ago, and I want to share it with you now. This is GRLT, ticker GRLT. Changed their name to Primior after a reverse merger back in September of 2024, which is now complete. So not only have they got a new name, they've got new operations, they have new management, we have a new opportunity. This company is working with tokenization of real-world assets. And if you don't know what that is, hang around. I'm going to explain it to you. So GRLT, she's based here in the United States, finished today on Friday at 0029, was up over 26%. Now this is a hot penny stock on the OTC. She's on the bottom tier, the OTC ID, also used to be known as the pink. It is the riskiest tier on the entire open market for one reason, a lack of validated information. We don't have a lot of information about these companies to work with. We do get financials, but you really can't trust them full-heartedly because they haven't been audited by a CPA. They're just a tally of revenues received and money spent. The management just passes that off to us, so we got to trust the management. We don't get any other filings to consider, so what we've really only got? News, hype. Those press releases is really all you have to stir you up. Be very careful. These pinks like to stir us up. I've lost a lot of money believing what I've read. So just be cautious. That's all I'm saying. But bottom line, I'm in this company. I've done my due diligence and I'm feeling pretty good about it. Now, we do have a little bit of validated information. We've got these two green ticks right here, which come from the OTCmarkets.com website themselves. An unbiased third party checking up on this company. So they tell us they do have a verified company profile and they've got a verified transfer agent, which is really the only validated information you get with a lot of your OTC IDs. So look for it. That's all we get. So what is Primior all about? Tokenization of real-world assets. Let's dive into that. Primior Holdings, Inc., formerly known as GRLT, is a forward-looking real estate development, investment, and advisory firm with a core focus on their Gaia platform. This is a tokenized real estate investment platform. Gaia is transforming how global investors access U.S. real estate by enabling fractional ownership with no minimum purchases, combining blockchain technology with institutional-grade real estate assets. Now let's get some more information. I'm going to dive into a piece of news here that came out November 20th. Primior Holdings today announced the December 1st, 2025 launch, just about a week away, of Gaia, its real-world asset tokenization marketplace, debuting their real estate fund United States Property Token, ticker USP. Gaia is Primior's end-to-end platform for converting real assets into digital investment products through tokenization. Gaia enables global investors to own institutional-grade assets traditionally not available to them, starting with as little as a $100 investment. You could own part of a skyscraper in New York City, or part of a huge mall, or maybe you've invested into a residential community. They are working with new products starting from scratch, and they are making money on products already done, just generating revenues. Through tokenization, Gaia removes the barriers of such high minimums, complex paperwork, and geographic restrictions. At launch, Gaia will feature the token USP as its first active investment product, with multiple additional tokenized properties and traditional syndications to follow. Every single property will have its own token, so you get to shop for what you want to invest in. Primior has already tokenized a diverse portfolio exceeding 52 million. I think they're over 100 million now, via their USP token. This is in rental housing, commercial properties, and hospitality assets, with a broader development pipeline valued into the hundreds of millions of dollars. These assets represent the first wave of offerings that will be accessible through Gaia, with more real estate commercial ventures and retreats scheduled to tokenize throughout 2026. So far, Gaia has already received more than 300 inbound requests from developers, fund managers, and asset owners interested in onboarding their properties across different sectors, including real estate, but also including AI, gaming, media, commodities, and small business. And that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be expanding into other real world assets. Anything you can make money on and sell in the world could be tokenized. In just 10 years, this could easily go to $30 trillion. It is possible. Primior has also submitted to change their ticker. They want to go to ticker PTKN. That is in the process of happening. And all of this is possible because of the new Genius Act that was passed here in July, allowing tokens and cryptocurrency to be used the way we're using them now in the big markets. Now let's get a little bit of clarity here. Tokens and cryptocurrency, they're not the same. Yes, they are both digital assets, but they have different features, different characteristics. While cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum function as decentralized, permissionless assets, security tokens are subject to security laws and carry embedded rights. You could get voting rights with your tokens. You could get dividends with your tokens. You don't get any of that from Bitcoin and Ethereum. The other difference is that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not backed by any assets. The only reason they have any value is because we think they have value and we give them that value. There is nothing backing them up. No gold, no real estate, no nothing. Just the way we feel about them. Market sentiment. Real world assets have solid value behind the tokens. Security tokens often represent ownership in real-world assets and include identity-based transfer restrictions, accreditation. That means that you have to prove that you can afford to buy these things in most real estate transactions. You don't have to do that with tokens. Their compliance is enforced via smart contracts, enabling automation of traditionally manual legal processes. This whole process is a heck of a lot easier and includes a heck of a lot more people for a lot cheaper. The problem with Bitcoin and Ethereum is they are speculative in nature, where tokens are not. These are real projects with real equity built into them. Now, it is not just this company doing this. Lots of companies are doing this. It's going to become the norm, folks. We have companies like BlackRock who have launched a tokenized money market fund. JP Morgan operates its Onyx platform, facilitating tokenized repo transactions. Franklin Templeton released a tokenized U.S. government money fund. And then you've got Goldman Sachs, Citi, HSBC. They've all launched pilot programs of tokens as well. So this isn't a new thing. It is going to become the thing, and it's going to be huge, folks. It's going to be giant. This is going to make us trillions and trillions of dollars in just the next decade, most likely. Now, I'm not going to go into it real deep, but over here at their site, they do start giving you case studies, properties they've already had, and new properties they've got right now, so that you can get some history here of what's going on. I want to show you one piece of property just so you get an idea. This is a brand new piece of property that they plan on building. This one right here, Symphony Estate. Now, most of their properties are down in Southern California because, well, real estate's just real expensive down there. So they're going to build this house right here on this piece of property, and it's going to look like that. Huge house, right? And they're starting off right down in this vicinity. They're going to build it here, and it will finish like that. Now, I don't know how long this is going to take. It's obviously going to take a while. But as it is building, your tokens become worth more and more and more until they sell it, and then you have an ultimate payout for your token. Unlike stocks, there is going to be a ceiling. You will know what your tokens are absolutely worth because they are backed by real world assets. So we've got lots of different information over here about different properties that they own. And when you get on to Gaia, you're going to get to see the real menu. And Gaia isn't just going to show you pictures and tell you about it. You're going to be able to follow all of their documentation, all of their tax forms. You're going to get all the information about your investment. You're not just buying a token and wondering. No, you're invested, you're involved, and they're going to keep you in touch with everything you need to know. So there you go. The company is now involved with tokenization of real-world assets, and they're starting off with real estate. A huge market, gigantic, but they can do this with any real-world asset. They could do it with gold. They could do it with cruise line ships. Anybody that wants to raise funds, anybody that wants to sell off something, they can do it now through tokens, and we can be a part of it. So let's take a look now at the relative volume for the company. GRLT over the last 30 days has been doing roughly 70 million shares. Down here on the OTC pink, the ID, that's excellent. On Friday, she did 78 million. She's kicking butt. Looking at the share structure for the company, it's ridiculous. I don't like it. 3.8 billion shares outstanding. The insiders own a nice chunk, about 22 million, which doesn't make a dent on 3.8 billion. We still get 3.8 billion in our float. Now, this would scare the heck out of me. When I see a stock on the OTC with billions of shares, first thing that pops into my mind, yep, reverse stock split. Well, last month, the new CEO, came out in the news press and said they have no plans for a reverse stock split. Yes. Now, I'm not crazy about this many shares, but I'm worse with a reverse stock split. I've been through 90 of them. I've lost about $50,000 and who knows how many shares. So I'm fine carrying 3.8 billion shares and keeping my shares. Thank you very much. The market cap for the company with all those shares, we're up there at 11.1 million. Financials. Is the company making any money? That's what's most important. We invest in these companies to share in the profits. Over the last 4 years, their revenues have been growing, gone tenfold basically in the last 3 years. 2022, we were at $225,000. At the end of 2024, we were at 2.6 million. That's over tenfold. And our profits have been growing right along with us. So things look really good on the financial side of things. But keep in mind, this is what they were doing. It's not what they're doing anymore. It's all changed. So, truth be told, looking at the financials is a bit moot, isn't it? Looking at the quarterlies, since we're here, they're bouncing up and down. 800,000, over a million, 500,000, almost a million. So they're all over the place. But again, this is what they were doing. Things have completely changed now. The balance sheet, though, we do want to look at that. Cash and cash equivalents, what we like to think of as the bank, they got about $174,000 in the bank. Total assets, we're at about 29 million. Don't forget those 3 zeros we got to put at the end. Total liabilities, we're at 30 million, just a little bit over. So we are holding stockholder deficit in this company. They're making revenues, they're making profit, at least they were. Things are changing. We're going to have to wait and see what aspires here, although I've got high hopes for them. Right now, we're holding deficit of $1.3 million. I'm not crazy about that. Taking a look at our disclosures, you really don't get a whole lot of disclosures, if any, with your OTC penny stocks because, well, they're down there too low to even do it. So what have we got for filings? Nothing since 2013. Wow, 12 years ago. But we do get our financials. These are disclosures. We have one that just came out a few days ago, our quarterly report. You want to learn something, you can probably get some information in there, but there's not a lot. Not really. I went through it just to see what they do, if there's any extra information. Doesn't hurt to read it, but there wasn't a whole lot to be gained. So that's all the information for the company. We've got a big float. They are making money, but what's that got to do with what they're doing now? That's all changed. And we have a new opportunity where they're working with real world assets and tokenizing it on their new platform. And this is launching in just a week, December 1st. And they do have a wait list right now. You could actually get on it if you go over to their website. You can get a lot of information there about what's going on. So let's go take a look now at the stock and see what it is doing. It has been starting to climb. I know that because 2 weeks ago I got into the stock. Last week she started climbing. I said, you know what? I better buy some more. So I bought some more. Let's go take a look at the chart. We are looking at ticker GRLT. This is Primior Holdings. We're going to chart it on my free trading platform, Thinkorswim. Now, as you can see, over the last year, she hasn't been doing a whole lot. mostly sideways activity between 0005 and 0006 with a little bump and jump here and there. But then she started to dribble downhill, going lower and lower until she hit her all-time low of 0001 in August, which happens to be the absolute lowest you can buy a stock for on the open market. Once she hit that low, she just kind of hovered across the floor between 0001 and 0002 for the rest of the month. Then she started to climb, started to push up, getting over top of these MAs. We're on top of the 50 now, and look at the size of these bars. Compared to these bars over here, these are getting a lot bigger. And the more MAs she crosses, the bigger the bars get. Now she's starting to rise. She's floating on top of that 9-day MA, getting strong. Look at the size of these bars. Look at the length of these wicks. Then we have a big drop, at least chart-wise. She went from 0024 down to 0009 and then came right back up over top of the MAs, over top of the 20, over top of the 9, and now she's pushing up, hitting our 52-week high of 0029. Everything looking like it's going to continue on. All of our MAs are over top of the 200, pushing up. 200's rising. We just hit a high bubble. All of our oscillators are climbing. It looks very good to me on our yearly chart. Looking at our 4-hour chart, it's really the same thing. She came down to that low bubble and worked her way up, and everything is scooping up right now, looking strong. Now I'm going to grab my regressive channel here, and I'm going to hit this low bubble, and then I'm going to hit Friday. And that's all you have to do is hit the 2 days, and it does all the work for you. It actually lays that channel in there for me nice and easy. Well, as you can see, obviously, she's been in an uptrend. But she has moved from the lower half of this channel to the upper half of the channel. After this big bottom out and bounce, she's come up and she's breaking out of this channel right now. She's going into a new paradigm, a new growth spurt. So I'd be watching her right now. Now, I don't think she's going to actually do it at this point. I think she'll argue a little bit with the top of this line right here. She'll bounce around under it and on it, and then all of a sudden, she'll take off. That's my feeling. All of our oscillators on the 4-hour chart are real strong. Everything is pushing up. Our PPO, percentage price oscillator, ADX has the green line and yellow line at the top, red line at the bottom, which is where I want to see them. Our MACD is pushing up very strong with lots of strong green bars accumulating, and our RSI is in the overbought right now. She's up there at 71. Psst, we're talking hot. Coming on down to our 20-day 1-hour view. So she is going sideways uphill. She's bouncing up and down, rolling like this uphill, which is exactly what we want to see. You can see she's pushing through that channel. She's up there at that high. She stopped at the end of the day because there is no trading pre-market or aftermarket with OTC stocks. We have to wait until the bell. She is right there, ready to go, folks. We're looking at our hourly chart with all of our oscillators pushing up and strong in the overbought right now. Things are looking mighty fine to me. Take a look at our 5-day, 5-minute. We are on an uptrend. We got a low bubble in this corner of 0014. There's our high of 0029. She is bouncing off of that 200, left the 200. Now she's bouncing off the 50, left the 50. Now she's bouncing off the 20. Folks, the price is getting lighter and lighter and lighter. It doesn't need all this support. It wants to climb. It wants to fly. It's going in the right direction right now, folks. All of our oscillators are still pointed up. Every single chart is showing growth. Every single chart is climbing. I think it's worthy of considering. I know she's got a lot of shares. I hate that. I'm not crazy about it, but you know what I hate more? Reverse stock splits. So let's just keep the 3.8 billion shares and let her keep climbing, and I will be happy with that. Now, of course, you know I didn't cover all the information. I never do. I never can. There's not enough time. So do your own due diligence behind me, folks, before you put your money into this company. Remember, the more you know, the more you're going to grow. See ya.